seeing the trailer for this film on theaters really because I didn't see it anywhere else. Uh, I thought to myself, "Wow, we're really going to get a 50 Shades of Grey times two." You know what I'm saying? Because it's like a three-way or whatever. I really had no expectations. In fact, I actually genuinely did not even want to see the movie because I was like, "Yeah, there's probably going to be some garbage ass fucking writing that has a lot of sex and just like shot from a woman's lens or whatever the fuck you call that thing." Like I was just not into it whatsoever. But boy, let me tell you, was I wrong about everything except the sex part. There's a lot, and I mean a lot of sex scenes, but they do work to a certain extent. And actually, when you think about it and you see the film and then you go back and like think about what you saw in the film, it actually works so well for storytelling, like genuinely does, because there's like it's like a love triangle, I guess you could call it. Like it's such an interesting way to explain or like utilize tennis to talk about relationships and all of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? I remember the last time tennis was used as a metaphor was on what was it, Friends with Benefits, something like that, the one with Justin Timberlake. That was the last time tennis was used as like a sexual reference. This time it's used as simply like a love triangle thing, whatever. And honestly, I was just shocked by how good this movie is all around. Like I found myself having a blast and fully engaged all the way through. There's a lot of dick in the movie, a lot of LGBTQ, morally G's. But I'm not gonna lie, I don't care about that. It was just good writing. I don't think that really just weighs into anything of your enjoyment. So if you're not going to watch this film because in the movie you saw two guys making out, you're probably missing out. And probably the movie's not going to be for you anyways because you probably just like Fast and Furious and in your face kind of action kind of movies, just like no brainer shit, low IQ motherfucking thing. This movie truly has a unique way of telling a story that is can be taken many different ways. Like, obviously, I don't want to give spoilers because this is absolutely a movie that I recommend you go and watch. So I'm just going to keep it as vague as possible. And I'm just going to say things that don't really amount to the story or won't ruin your perception of the film because I think this is just phenomenal. So, overall, acting performances were pretty damn good all around. Everybody did a great job with their characters and setting off their differences, especially being a love triangle, two guys, one girl. Obviously, both guys have to play different kinds of characters and then convey them in a different way while at the same time being connected to each other. It is very well done, and it's just like honestly, I just feel like props to whoever wrote this shit because oh my god, was it good? And even this is not a spoiler, but even the ending, like everything, it's like okay. Let me just go step by step. The movie at the beginning, at the first act, they like they give you bits and pieces. Actually, the in the first act and second act, they give you bits and pieces. They give you a couple liners, a couple information dumps here and there, here and there. Like they give you pieces of the puzzle, right? And then at the third act, there's just like throw it all in, and then everything's just they just complete the puzzle. The whole thing just gets completed by itself. The whole puzzle, like it's just really remarkable. Like everything that was said. Fuck. Spoilers. I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I can't really find a way to talk about this movie without really spoiling it because a lot of the things that work in this movie are basically spoilers, right? Because the story the fact that you walk into this movie without having really no expectations, you just see on the movie trailer you just see two fucking tennis players going after the same girl. That's basically all you get from it. But it's so much deeper than that. There's so much more than that, right? There's a lot of like things that you can take away from the movie. And I appreciate that because that just means it works. And it does work. It worked in many different ways for me. I enjoyed this movie top to bottom. And even on the ending, I saw a lot of people complaining about the ending, and the ending was trash. There was like this bitch sitting right beside me. She's just fucking like, she just started like, no, 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 like talking about like blue balls. No way, I got all this sexual tension for that ending and shit like that. But to be honest, I get it because there's something that happens in the beginning of the movie, which I'll probably just get into it a little bit later in spoiler territory. But there's something that happens in the beginning of the movie that basically already explains the ending. So the ending was foreshadowed before it even happened, and you never even see it coming, right? And I do get why people would complain. I do get it because there's still questions that still stay there. Like, we're not gonna get into it right now, but it does make sense. You know what I'm saying? I still think, regardless of the ending or whatever the complaints were, I still think this is just a fantastic movie. If you actually fucking pay attention and don't talk through it like half of my fucking movie theater, like for some fucking reason, every time something happened on the screen, someone would like louch to the side to whoever they were with and like, oh, that bitch did this. I'm like, bro, shut the fuck. I can literally fucking see, bro. You're not impressing your fucking bitch ass girlfriend for telling her what the fuck you just saw, or like trying to predict what's going to go on. Like bro, just shut the fuck up and watch the fucking movie. There's no reason for you to be talking, especially that fucking loud. Sorry, that's just a pet peeve, but it happens all the fucking time. Why can't people just shut the fuck up and watch the goddamn fucking movie for once? You know what I'm saying? Like, stop fucking like, it's okay if you're like watching a movie and you go like, oh wow, that's fucking bullshit, or like, oh wow, or like, you get scared, or like, I don't know, you go, huh, that's funny, or like something like that. But like consistently fucking talking and trying to predict what's gonna happen. And I've I've even heard like, first time both people are watching the movie, they go like, "Oh, so that's the bad guy? Do you think that's the bad guy? Is that the bad guy? I don't know. Is that the bad guy? You think that's the bad guy? Why is this color purple? Why is this fucking blue?" Like, shut the fuck up. The reason the movie is nearly 2 hours long. Why are you asking so many fucking questions 14 minutes in? Keep it on your fucking head, bro. Like, I know you have a fucking brain the size of a goddamn fucking walnut, but like, holy fuck. Okay, sorry, I got sidetracked. I don't have many complaints about the movie. I really don't. There's probably like a couple pet peeves in terms of like, I guess, directorial choices, really. Like, so I feel like some shots would have worked in different shots. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like in some scenes they would have shot, if they had a different shot, it would have been more intense. I would say it would have been more intense, more you would have felt more in the scene. You know what I'm saying? And also, for some reason, it's really not bad, but it always comes out of nowhere. In this movie, they have all this like sudden fucking disco music, like dance music, just coming in out of nowhere, and it happens so often. Like, halfway through the movie, they'd be having like a conversation, or just driving, or just simply playing tennis, and then you suddenly hear. It was so weird because you'd be like sitting, something happened in the movie, and then you hear the song just like come right in, and it's not like it fades in, it's just like boom, starts. It's like, it just took me off. Like, it happened once, twice, I was like, okay, that's fine, but it kept happening. I was like, bro, what's going on, man? Like, honestly, the thing is, the music choices were good. Like, I was bobbing my head. Like, the music was fucking nice, but like, it just kept coming out of nowhere. Like, I just didn't expect the song to come in at those certain moments. But they do work. Like, I'm not saying they didn't, but it just came out of nowhere. It just kept throwing me off. Like, the sudden disco music just popping in consistently. Another thing that I would really understand why people complain a lot is that this movie has a lot of back and forth. And what I mean by back and forth is like, you're in the present, you go to the past, you go back to the present, you go back to the past, you go back to the present, you go back to the past, and it happens throughout the whole movie. Literally, that's the whole point of the movie. But the thing is, I understand why that was the choice, and honestly, that honestly was the best way to present the entire story, because I feel like if you would have done it linear, it would have not worked. It would have not been as, I guess, artistical as it is. But I do get why people would be like, "Oh my god, we're back to the past. Oh my god, we're back to the future. Oh my god, we're back to the past again. Wait, how much time has passed since then? Wait, I'm confused. Wait, what happened here?" Like, I understand why you would get confused. Like, at sometimes I was like, "Oh wait, what year are we on right now?" But overall, I mean, like, it doesn't take away from the movie. It does work. Me personally, I didn't mind it because every time they went back, they just didn't just go back like all off the blue. They always let you know that we're going back in time again. So it you shouldn't be confused. But I do understand why people complain that, oh my god, we're going back again. Oh, we're going back. Oh, we're here. What the fuck do you want? Like a linear, boring ass story? This works way better because you're seeing the tension. The tension is presented. Well, let's just say the entire movie is presented as a tennis match. Literally, the entire movie is presented to you as a tennis match. The whole movie has the sections. It's called set one, set two, set three. I think it was a tiebreaker and then breaking point. I think those were it. But yeah, it's divided like that. So everyone has his own little arc, which obviously reaches its climax. And I thought it was great because it works in a certain way, right? I thought about it more like set one, you know, we're just getting into the game. Set two, the person that's losing needs to pick it up. Set three, everything's on the line. And then tiebreaker, uh, again, everything's on the line. Tensions are even higher. Blah blah blah. So that's the way I thought about it. So before getting into spoiler territory, I would like to say my rating for this movie because I really want to talk about some spoiler things about the movie that I guess are worth mentioning to people that actually watch the movie, which I would like to just have a conversation with, right? Whoever watches this. So giving this movie a rating, I'm gonna give this movie a 9 out of 10. This is genuinely the second best movie this year by far. This is the closest we've gotten to Dune Part 2. The gap closed literally by like an inch. But the gap is still massive, right? But it's a little bit less massive, so that's there. It's a little, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you could do a lot with a little, you know what I'm saying? Hey, I do think this is a great movie to watch, like regardless if even if you think you're like, "Oh my god, there's some homosexuals thing. Oh my god, blah blah blah." No, bro, just sit down, watch the movie, and you'll be pleasantly surprised by how good this fucking movie is because it is really outstanding. Now let's go to the spoiler territory, which is like a couple handful of things. So let's just do it really quickly. The ending of the movie, it was self-explained, right? I had already predicted that he was gonna give the sign, right? He was gonna give the sign because it was foreshadowed again at the beginning. Everything that happened at the beginning of the movie was used literally at the end, right? I don't know if you noticed that, but everything was used. Everything was already explained. So when he put that there, it meant like they slept together. So she cheated, right? And so when it was like tied, right? When they tied, the game was tied, and they actually played for real that last time. That was the relationship they talked when they were like at the bonfire with her at the party with Tashi. And I for the love of me, I cannot remember what she said, but the ending was explained literally right there when he asked, "I never heard you scream like that before." She gave an answer, and that's literally the answer to the ending. But I genuinely, I tried so hard when I walked out the theater because I knew it. I knew it. I just can't remember what exactly she said. I'm trying hard, and I hope one of you that watches this video remembers. But like, I know she said the answer to the ending, and it was right there. Now, the other side of the coin, which I don't really get, is like, where does their relationship end after that moment? I feel like if we cut all the sex scenes down to like 30 seconds each, or even less, like 20 seconds each sex scene, or like each like high tension sex scene, I felt like we could have put those minutes, or like minutes at the end of the movie to at least let us know where it's gonna go. But then again, I am only saying that because I don't exactly remember what Tashi said when they first met on that party in the bonfire thing. So that's me. So I probably am going to watch this movie again just to see, just to catch on a couple things that I didn't miss because I know I missed a couple things. But if you do know more things than I do about the movie, and you can explain a thing or two about me, please let me know in the comments. Yeah, I honestly think that this is probably one of the best writings we've had all year. Like, and or honestly, in general, this is one of the best writings in general. Like, everything was just used so perfectly, and the fact that everything was like the entire ending was foreshadowed. Like what, 15, 20 minutes into the movie is kind of crazy, but you don't see it coming. And a lot of people, that shit would probably go to over a lot of people's head. And that's what happened in my movie theater because a lot of people were like complaining, like, "Oh, wow, I got fucking blue balls now," like, like. But I do get it. Like, it's good. It was good. I understand the relationship, the relationship triangle they said on right there where they were talking with Toshi and all of that stuff. So I did catch on pretty much like 90% of the movie. It's just that one thing, that one answer that Toshi gave um Art, I just don't remember. I don't remember what she said there. So I'm really trying so hard. I'll probably go watch the movie today or maybe tomorrow. I don't know. But man, what a movie. What a fucking movie. I really love this movie.